Alright, tying the Lady Gaga. First, quick little dubbing loop for some dubbing. And this is just to be clear, this is just a version of Travis Johnson's Lady Gaga. So, I happen to like this dubbing. It's pretty awesome. Throw out my dubbing loop, spin it up. On a relatively pronounced backside here. So that's pretty good. I like it. Using the infamous 50D. And as you can see, I've already tied on my dumbbell eyes and the intruder wire. I'm gonna go with a golden pheasant tippet feather here, and I'm gonna peel some off the larger part of the stem. And this is going to kind of act as my prop for some ostrich. Okay, I don't know that I've ever actually said this in a YouTube video. If you are watching this video right now, click pause and subscribe. And the reason why we want you to subscribe is so that we can put together more awesome videos. I happen to think some of our videos are pretty good. They are not super professional, but there's some decent content there. So help us out, subscribe. We don't really know what we're doing, if I'm being honest with you. I'm not the freaking fly shop guy that thinks he knows everything. The fact is, when we're doing anything having to do with anadromous fish, it's we have our favorites, we have some secrets, but really they're pretty tough to catch. So this is a proven fly. It's a beautiful fly. I really don't use it a whole lot. I don't know that I've actually ever used it, but I did watch a buddy of mine catch a fish with it last year. I was like, oh, that's cool. That thing freaking works. It's got marabou in it, and it's got ostrich in it, and it's got a gorgeous golden pheasant tippet feather in it, so duh, right? Okay, so I've got 6 strands of ostrich, just putting on each side. But yes, please subscribe to our channel, because we don't have very many subscribers, but we have a lot of people watching our videos, so it's like, what's up with that? Help us out. Help a brother out. Evidently it's important, you know. I don't know why, because I don't know much about the YouTube, but it is important. Okay, putting the same amount of strands on the same amount of Ostrich on the other side. Trying to make it even as possible. Yeah. And so that is an MFC ostrich. I mean, they're super thin and really pretty. MFC ostrich, and I barred it myself. All by myself. Nobody helped me. I just barred it with a black pen. And now I'm using some Vivas. Hollow, if I can find the end of it. Crap. Where's the end of this thing? Good night. Oh, it's at the very end. There it is. Alright. Holy crap. Vivas. They put that on awfully tight, so it was a little bit difficult to find the end. But anyways, take more than you think you need. I like it. I like my body relatively even, so I've kind of put the ostrich in. So I'm gonna have to bulk up this back side of the body real quick. This is a terrible thread to do that with because it's so thin, but do that a little bit. Bring it down. Tighten really tight on the back side. You don't want to lose that back side. This is not the original color of the Lady Gaga. The original color is awesome. I absolutely love it. I think it is the best looking color combo. But this is just something different because it's fun to do something different. I did reach out to the man himself who created the fly, and he approved this message. Thanks, Travis. Appreciate you, buddy. So I took so much to where I could use that on the next fly, and we will tie another one because it's always good to tie in twos. What if it works and then fish breaks you off? You gotta have another one. Okay, so this is just a saddle feather. I'm just using the saddle feather to prop up my marabou that's gonna come in here soon. It's not a big deal. You don't even have to tie it on if you don't want to. I just like it for a little bit of a prop. This is not gonna be a fly that has a large profile that way. I mean, marabou just for the most part kind of bends down or sucks down onto the shank a little bit. So this will help that. I'm not doing that as much. And this is just, I believe, a fuchsia. And when I look for, this is just strung Chinese saddle hackle, but when I look for a hackle feather like this, I just want to make sure it's relatively stiff. Because the idea, again, is to prop the marabou up. Alright. Alright, Spay Marabou from Nature Spirit. Selecting the perfect marabou feather. I really like a feather that is very wispy. You don't have to put a ton of wraps on it. It's actually better if you don't. So that's relatively wispy. It's not perfect, but I like it. So we're gonna go with it. Tied in by the tip. I know in COVID times you're not supposed to lick your fingers, but I promise my hands have been washed. Probably multiple times this morning actually. So, you know, water by your desk here, just a cup of water is always a good idea. Gotta be COVID friendly. This is not a COVID friendly fly. Sorry. Okay, tie that down real good. We've got a mega pack of purple because, let's be honest, purple's awesome and I use a ton of it. Did I just cover the camera with purple marabou? Nice. Rightfully so. Okay, same thing. Get a nice wispy feather. This one has a nice thin stem if I wanted to tie down a few more wraps. We'll see how she looks. Again by the tip. So, you know, you can design your fly. To me, fly design has a lot to do with where you're fishing, and I think that there's a huge confusion out there as to, I'm going to talk about this because I think it's worth talking about. Maybe we should do a different video on it, but as to where you're fishing. So we fish the Central Coast in Oregon because that's, you know, that's where we're at. In our rivers are awesome, quite frankly. They are amazing. They're very difficult to fish, but they can be pretty reasonably productive to swing flies. But there's, to me, it's I'm gonna do one more wrap here and then I'll call it a day on that. So I'll just peel some of that off each side and tie it down right on top. But anyhow, our rivers can be kind of slotty, so it's difficult to present a fly in a slot. So having the right sink tip on is important, and having a heavy enough fly to penetrate that slot is important, and then casting, really casting is possibly the most important thing above everything else. Casting to where you're not putting your fly kind of in harm's way of getting caught in a slot. And then we have some great bouldery runs as well, but that's also there can be there's very particular spots where these fish hold. And so anyways, I'm putting on some holographic flash in pink. It's an awesome color that I've just started to use. But anyways, so with all that said, You know, our color combos might be a little bit different. You know, like I've been up to the OP, and that's super glacial fed. We don't have glacial rivers here. That doesn't mean that they're not colored up at times, and it's not appropriate to use some brighter colors. But if you fish, I'm just spreading out this flash evenly. If you fish up there, you know, some of our videos may not be as appealing, I guess. Because up there I feel like you can put more flash in the fly, and you know, there may be people that feel completely differently than that, but that's alright. I mean, if you watch some of the videos, the early videos from Trevor Kovich and some of the old OPST guys, Jerry French and whatnot, they've got just lots of flash in those composite loops and whatnot, which is really cool. And I'm not saying those won't work down here, but I don't know that they're as appropriate, I guess, down here. So I prefer to fish with maybe a little bit less flash than the average guy. I've got 4 strands of flash in there, and because our rivers will clear, even when they're a little bit higher, they'll clear quickly. So now I'm going to put in horns. Kind of like where that is right there, so I'm going to peel some of that off. Yep. Just matching them up evenly. You can see I'm peeling some feathers off here, or just some barbules off there. There we go. Maybe 2 more. There we go. And everybody kind of has a different way, the way they like to put their flash in. I prefer it pretty much exactly like that, and that feather actually cooperated pretty well for me, so not gonna mess with it. One on the other side. I like to just look. I'll kind of hold them there and really put down some pretty heavy wraps. Fold the stems back the other way, wrap behind them, and then I'll cut my stems. And by the way, it's totally fine if you don't cut them. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but those stems are not completely cut off. So I'm going to put a feather, finished feather, just a schlop-in finished feather right on top. The reason why I put my schlop-in on top of these horns is to protect them. The fly will last a lot longer if you do it that way. So that's just something to consider. I've got some Natured Spirit schlop-in. They make really good schlop-in, quite frankly. It's freaking awesome. I've been sick and tired of getting garbage schlop-in from other material providers, and we have gone to schlop-in and saddle from Natured Spirit, and we are loving it. So if it's not on our website, you are welcome to give us a call. I'm just going to tie that in by the tip, and of course I cut my stem on accident back too far, so I'm going to have to, hackle pliers would be good right here, but there's something about using hackle pliers, I just never do it. 2 to 3 wraps. I'm going to do 3. Feeling pretty good about 3 wraps. Just, as you wrap, just kind of fold it back. I don't know. That's kind of 3.5. There we go. Capture that. 2 wraps in front, 2 wraps in back, and you are finished. make sure that you can muck this fly up. And that the horns will stay in place. And it's one thing that I always do. I always muck it up a bit. Whip finish. Whip finish twice. Can you grab me the light and the glue, please? Whip finish twice, and you know, that fly, it's not too bad. Now, real quick, we are having a fly tying contest. The key with this fly tying contest is turkey. It's Turkey Day coming up. Get to go spend some time with the fam, watch some football. Although in the state of Oregon, I think that's illegal at this point, so sorry. it's just laughable. But anyways, spend some time with your family. Hang out. I'm putting flow on here. I always use flow. It works really good at just securing things. Light it up. But fly tying contest, the only thing you need to know about the fly tying contest, it's a $10 buy-in. We get to choose the winner. We will do a recount if necessary. And now Eli's choosing the winner. That way I don't have to be involved in it. But yeah, the use of turkey is the only things you can use. Biots, you can use marabou. Like this is an excellent fly. If somebody wanted to submit one of these Lady Gaga's or your version of it, right on, make it happen. You could do that, or just a hobo spay or a stonefly nymph or whatever, as long as you're using turkey. Turkey flats, marabou, quills, whatever. There's lots of turkey product out there, as long as you can prove to us that it's actually turkey, you know, which we'll be able to tell that. Anyways, Lady Gaga, there it is. Awesome fly. You can thank Travis Johnson for that. It's an awesome fly, beautiful fly, easy to tie, and that's our kind of version of it. Thanks guys for tuning in.